Hi guys, it is 8 August 2019. We are getting ready to head out to Paul Henry's art gallery where there is the weekly open jam. Most people play music, some of us do poetry. I have my poetry notebook, which is mostly filled with printed out sheets of paper because I don't typically handwrite my poetry. I normally type. The binder that I have typed most of my stuff and put it into was lost in the move. And by lost, I mean misplaced. I'm sure I will get it back. It is somewhere. In the meantime, I've been shoving paper into this thing. This thing has a lot of cool art on it, though. That has been made by some people I know and some things I've picked up at conventions. I am going to be using some of it for a really cool project for an upcoming art event that I can't really talk about right now because I am keeping part of it a secret from even the people I live with. So I feel like absolute shit tonight, but I'm actually really excited to share poetry, especially because I have one brand new poem and one that I have greatly revised. I am really hoping that one of my fellow poets will be there and I can talk him into actually doing an interview tonight because I have thought of some cool questions to ask him for this. So where are you and Shadow off to tonight?
Paul Henry's.
What is Paul Henry's?
Art gallery.
What are you guys going to do there?
She's going to perform poetry. There's an open mic night.
Is this something that you guys do often?
As often as possible.
Now, she's done poetry slams before. Is this a competitive event?
No, collaborative. People just show up, do a few, sit down again.
Right on. Is this something where you will also be performing?
No.
Is it just you two going?
No, Dead Mike's also going.
And what in the world does your shirt mean?
It refers to a programmer or engineer joke. 127001 is also localhost, which is home address on a computer.
That's adorable. Moy, I know this is the first clip you've been in. You want to talk a little bit about how you met Shadow?
Yeah, I met Shadow at Paul Henry's art gallery. It's a very beautiful gallery near my house, and I created a home there, meeting a bunch of different artists, Shadow being one of them. Shadow's an amazing poet. I remember listening to Shadow perform and just being so in awe the whole time because I finally met a poet that I felt like really I could connect with on an emotional level as far as like our subject matter goes and stuff like that, and just performance wise also.
So about 3 times in of you two meeting each other, she said something very morbid to you about one of your poems. Would you like to tell that story?
If I'm correct, I think it might be, and I don't know if this is necessarily it. I didn't really see it too morbid, and I can be wrong if this is it or not, but I think she said that she wanted me to read my poem, The Carcass Under the Flower House, at her funeral, which of course, you know, heaven forbid, I would never want to think about Shadow not being here, but I felt honored in a way also to know that my poem connected with her enough to be read at such a place. So, you know, heaven forbid again, but that might be it, I'm not sure.
So you've released a book of your poetry and some stickers you've worked with, Shadows in the Attic. How have you gotten to know the Shadows in the Attic team? Like, What do you think you'll be continuing to work with the team over time? Do you have any upcoming projects with the team?
So as far as the book goes, I do have a book that it's not published, but I do have it written. It's called A Letter to a Stranger. I've been working on it since my freshman year of high school. I graduated sometime last year, so it's been a while since I've been making this book. It's about my youth. As far as Shadows in the Attic goes, I feel like the first time we really collaborated, or it was, I'm pretty sure, was when they had like, I'm not sure what it was called, but it was like a little flea market for art type thing, and they let me share their table with, they shared their table with me, and Dead Mike made stickers for me of my designs and my art designs from the printing place that he works at, and it was just so crazy to see my designs come to life and to be able to work with such creative people as Shadow Von Cat and Dead Mike. So yeah, that's the experience where I think it really took off, where we really collaborated in the fact that we just sold stuff together and we like hung out for like various hours, and I think that's also where we really got to know each other on a greater extent. And I do plan on working with them further. You know, they're lovely people. I love them, and I love working with them, and I love what they're doing. And I think we're doing something on the end of this month, 31st, I think it is. And that's going to be awesome. We're going to be selling our art, and hopefully that can happen. So look out for that.
So we did go to Paul Henry's. It was a good show, but it was kind of a weird night. Like once it got darker out, it was actually quite nice out temperature wise. So a lot of people ended up kind of congregating outside, which meant that there actually weren't a lot of people inside during my set. And then the footage from my set, because we're still experimenting with the tripod, all of it was actually too fuzzy to be used. So I've had to junk all of the footage from my actual set.